need street soccer for the growth of the game and for player development. By playing on the concrete, your touch has become unbelievable.
Like you said, you grew up playing soccer in the streets. What is that like growing up in Morocco?
Every single day, you go play 2v2s and you play for 5 cents. There was no grass, it was all just clay and rocks. Plastic ball is what you played with.
So you guys didn't even have like an actual soccer ball?
No. It was all plastic balls.
But it's something you can give me as a coach.
There's one thing about growing up as a footballer, it's another thing about knowing the art of coaching. Either you're a good coach or you're a screamer.
Does a good coach have to have years of playing?
You have to have been a player. How can you relate to a player when you never played the sport? The key for us here in this club is development. Develop players to be winners. My biggest recommendation to every professional player.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Rafael Espinoza. I don't have a co-host today, but I have a special guest, Platini Soaf. It's a pleasure to have you on. Do you want to give a quick little intro to those who may not know who you are? Brief little introduction, because then we're going to go deep into your story in a second.
All right. How long do we have? No, I'm joking. First of all, thank you for having me. Very honored to be here. My name is Platini Soaf. I have actually a longer name as a North African. Is Hisham Platini Soaf.
Okay.
But here,
What was the first one?
Hisham
Platini
Soaf. But my mother gave me first name, father first name. But everybody in the U.S. knows me by Platini Soaf, and around the countries I worked at before. So yeah, it's a long story. I don't know how long we have, but we'll try to get it there quickly. Born in Morocco.
Okay.
I left at the teenager age to Spain, to France. Went to France, went back to Morocco, came to the US at the age of 18, really. So soccer has always been my passion since I was a kid. So played every day in the streets and then went to the academy of my city in Morocco. And that was a saying in Africa. If you can't do it with a pen, do it with your feet. So I choose obviously both, but soccer is just the journey that I enjoyed having and got me to where I'm at. From that, came here, played with the San Diego Soccer's outdoor team in San Diego, the indoor pro team, and then got an injury. Then I went into my coaching education and got picked by a former national team head coach of the women's volleyball national team that won actually the $1 million award many years ago, Terry Leskovich. And I did some privates with his kid as I was playing with the outdoor San Diego Soccers. Then I went with Curver, International Curver, Adidas. Then opened up doors. Then I went with Surf, San Diego Surf, the big surf soccer club. And then got invited to be on the women's national team for Mexico. Got hired by the federation to develop the players individually, work with them individually, be an assistant, and then offered me to go to the World Cup as an assistant. After that, worked with Carl South on the ODP program. And then I took 2 teams. We won national championships. And from that, got invited to go to France to work for FIFA World Cup 99 to do the grassroots events outside the World Cup. And was around all the legends, Eder, Zico, Rummenigge from Germany, Kevin Keegan, Jean-Marie Pfaff, about 40 legends. I was actually involved with them. It was a dream to come through. From that, opened some doors, then went with the US women's national team as an assistant to Canada and to Minnesota. Then after that, went to Costa Rica with Steve Sampson. Over there to work with the federation to talk about the women's program, and then I was on his staff with the men's. We went internationally as one of his staff members with the men's Costa Rica team. Then doors kept opening up every time. Just as you educate yourself, went through my licensing at early 90s. By at early age, I had my first A license, which was in 2000, and they renewed it after 2013. And then became the head coach of Region 4, which is all 14 states of the west side of America, to oversee the ODP program. And did scouting for the national teams, been a guest on the national teams camps. And then after that, got invited to become the assistant for the beach men's national team in El Salvador tournament, and then on the women's team too, and been as an instructor for the national team, as a mentor for the A license, B license, and C license for the women's, and for the C license for the men's as an instructor and the mentor. So that's really in this, like I said, there is many other things, but just try to give you a little bit. I was lucky enough, I had a lot of good mentors throughout my life. I've been a speaker at the convention. I've been the coach of the year for Region 4, 2017. It's hard to remember as you get older, so you just, do your best to talk about things that are important and appreciate the people that helped you through the journey.
Right.
I've been lucky to have been around the World Cup coaches. Steve Sampson, with the 98 head coach for the men's national team, was one of my bosses and mentors and a great friend of mine. And worked with some international coaches in other countries, been to the Spanish Federation for my academy license and to the AFA. And so it's been a great journey, and that people like our American coaches to learn from. Jesse, that's going to Canada now, just listening to him and been around good people, good coaches, it really helped with my career.
Right. And where are you at currently?
I'm at the moment right now, I just accepted a job with Zeta FC as an assistant coach on the men's pro team as to help there as needed. The head coach and his staff have done a phenomenal job, and they have a good team, and then academy director for the youth. My role is to really just work on the culture of the club. They have a great culture, and to develop really, the key for us here in this club is development. Develop players to be winners. Develop coaches to be better every day. So the culture here is not self-serving. It's not about one person. It's about the whole organization. And that's really what got me attracted to come to Zeta FC, is that culture that's it's not about giving the power to one person, but to do what's best for the players. Players come first in this club.
Right.
At the pro level, they come first. At the youth level, will come first. But to do that, you have to make sure that the coaches are developed.
Right.
And so that's where I'm at the moment, and looking forward to it. Very excited about the journey.
Man, I don't know where to begin. Obviously, for those who are listening, this is like an exciting guest to have on because of everything you just listed, the resume you have. It's, I think we can, like you said, we can be here for hours if we really dove deep into everything, your experience. So we don't have the time to go into so much detail, but I do want to. The format of this the podcast is we go into your childhood. You can go as detailed as you want with as your youth years, and then going into your teens and stuff, up until where we're at right now. But I do want to begin with what it's like growing up in Morocco, and what like you said, you grew up playing soccer in the streets. What is that like? Can you give us like an idea of like what your daily youth routine was? Yeah, no, it's those memories just stick with you. I remember the flashes, obviously, very good. We played the first field I had as a kid. This one is the funniest story ever. There is a big tree on the side in the middle of the field. On the field?
On the field. So you have, this is the field, a goal here, and it's just a wood pole, and the goal here, wood pole and a rock. They didn't have another pole. But there was a tree right on the left side. If you're playing from this side, there is a tree right here. So if you play the left winger or the left back, whatever, or you overlap, whatever you're doing in the game, sometimes you stop on the tree and you mess with the defender.
Yeah.
So you go like, he's gonna go, he goes here, you go around the tree. So this was something that just stays with you for the rest of your life.
The other team had an automatic right back.
So you played on that. It was no grass. It was all just clay and rocks. So second incident, don't want to take too long. one time I'm sitting watching the adults, and there is a wall. There's a wall here, and the adults are playing. I'm a kid sitting on a wall, and one of the guys just hit the ball so hard, hit me in the head. I flip over, and it's 5-6 feet going down, and I come down on a rock with the nail, and I have that scar right here. The nail went right through the head.
Oh, no way. How old were you?
Yeah, I was like, I think I was 8 or 9. So they took me to the emergency room, and they're like, don't move. They picked up the rock with the nail. And so I have that scar right here that my kids always make fun of me. So those are the stories. And then you played every night. So that's on the weekend, you can use the field.
Okay.
On the every single day, you go to school, you walk for half hour to school. You come back at 12, half-hour walk. You have 2 hours, 12 to 2. With family, everybody has to eat with family. There is no you eat at school. And there's no you eat at friends. You eat with your father and mother and brother and sisters. Every day, Monday to Friday. Beautiful culture. At 1:45, you get up and you walk or run to get to the school at 2. You go to school 2 to 5. At 5 o'clock, you come home. You grab a snack and you go play 2v2s.
2v2s?
2v2s. And you play for 5 cents. So you ask your parents, so if you have money, you play. And it's competitive because you want to win every game. So there is like 4 teams of 2v2. You play and the other ones are, and it's one goal. You lose, you're out. The other group comes. And it was 2v2s from like 6 to 7 to 8.
And who would plan that? Like it was
just community. Everybody plays. That's still happening right now, but this games happen still, or now they play 5v5. As you know, futsal and beach soccer is a big culture in Africa, especially Morocco. So we play that, and as you get older, you go play futsal and beach. You play summer. The pros play at the beach, the amateurs play at the beach, and the crowd plays, and it's big goals. And there's small-sided games, big games. So football was a daily culture. On Sunday or Saturday, the games, everybody is at the stadium. Everybody. So, and we were lucky. My father was in the police force, so we got in for free. So we never missed a game.
That's awesome.
So I had that luxury when that I grew up in a football academy environment in the streets. So that's the youth, and then you go to grass when you make the academy. And you don't go to really good grass. There is a dry grass, and you go from basically 10 to 14 to 16. Once you get into the U16 or wherever, you go to the real grass. And so that's the only place that had grass was like one academy.
And how was that going from, you said clay and gravel to grass?
It was a luxury, my God. Because if you play on the concrete, the 2v2s, all that, because you play on the concrete, or the ball goes, and it's a plastic ball. You buy it for 50 cents, you put a hole in it to lose the bounce because you don't want it to bounce.
Oh, so you guys didn't even have like an actual soccer ball?
No. It's all plastic balls. You don't get that ball, you get if your family comes from Europe and they bring you a ball, and then that you treasure. You know? So the plastic ball is what you played with. So, and if he goes to the road and the truck comes over, you're like praying. If he goes over, gone. You have to wait a week to buy another plastic ball because everybody has to check.
And that's happened a few times then?
It happens a few times. So those are stories that are just beautiful. It's hard. But what it does to you, by playing on the concrete, playing on the clay and the rocks, your touches become unbelievable.
Yeah.
You can control the ball out of any flight. Coming from any angle, you just become good. And that's why when you watch the South Americans or the kids that play on the street here or wherever, they have a better touch because they're used. So when you play on grass, you're playing on carpet. That's what we say to the pros here. If you can't play on this kind of, you can't play. You're not good. I mean, this is a luxury.
Well, that's something that we're doing with without a doubt. Is we're starting the street soccer tournaments, and with that idea in mind, because my brother and I, we grew up playing street soccer, and it was, I mean, it was gravel, sometimes just really smooth concrete. But that's ultimately how we grew up playing up until we got into AYSO, which was right about when I was 7 or 8 and stuff. But before that, and even when I was there, it was just all street soccer. And for me, ultimately, because I was so young, I was playing with my brother's older, and it was with mostly his friends. And being so young, playing against those guys, I grew like that, toughness.
Well, that's the best way to become a pro. The players that make it, the majority did not play in their age groups.
Right.
The majority, especially in other countries. We played as a 14-year-old. We played with the immigration team because there was a port next to us. They were 36-year-olds, and they beat the shoe out of us. I'm not using the bad words. They beat the shoe out of us. But you know what it made us do? Move quicker, look quicker. So your visual, speed of vision, speed of action, speed of reaction, speed of getting away from a tackle.
Yeah.
So you learn by playing in that environment.
Right.
And that's something I love about U.S. soccer has a foundation now. They're building small-sided fields around the country for street soccer.
Right.
It's an awesome initiative. Yeah. You guys doing it is the best thing you can do for the growth of the game and for player development.
Right.
You need street soccer, you need futsal, you need beach soccer, you need all these environments. And just playing other sports too. It's something that's missing here.
Yeah. I never grew up playing any other sports. All I played was, I dabbled a little bit was like volleyball just to because I thought it was fun. Yeah. That's all I played was soccer. But I do wish I did try some other sports just because I see that certain aspects of other sports translates to soccer.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at the big clubs around the world, they have futsal, basketball, football, and handball. Most of them. Because they all connect. Basketball gives you vision. Soccer here, if you're playing an organized soccer, most of players don't have vision of the field. They just see the ball or they look at the player with the ball. And they don't have transition concept, offense, defense, or in between. They have no transition at all. Why? Because they played always in organized soccer, just attack, defend. But basketball, you're constantly up and down, organized, getting together, compact. So there is a lot of benefits in other sports. Tennis, same thing with your vision. Even if it's an individual, it's teaching you to play one touch. Because in tennis, it's one touch.
Right.
So there is so many benefits. But as you get older, you focus and master one. But as a young player, you should have another sport for fun that will complement your football. So that's just my 2 cents.
Would you recommend like a young player then to go and play pickup basketball?
100%. 100%. I played basketball, futsal, beach soccer, and ping pong, and chess, and soccer. But it works for some players to play one sport. I'm just saying, you were lucky you played street soccer though. It teaches you vision. Why? Because there is no uniform.
Oh yeah.
So when you play street soccer, it teaches you to look at the players. But when you're playing with uniform, people don't look at the players anymore. They look too much down. So you have to find a way to really get them to either play other sports, or if you're gonna just do soccer, put them in environments where developing the upper body. Just like, why do the boxers run? They're boxers. Yeah. They run because they have to have a complete movement. The mechanics have to work. So the boxer has to run. A soccer player has to do something with their upper body. That way they can have a complete mechanics to become an elite. So that's just my 2 cents.
Right.
And that there is studies that actually proven that it helps you to to reach your potential.
Right.
So the development is what helps you to reach your potential.
Right.
Leadership that's not self-centered will get to the potential.
Right.
But if it's self-centered or it's all about just winning and no development, so it's just not going to work. It catches up with you.
So when you were in Morocco at a young age, going to the stadium, watching all these professionals play, was that something that in your mind, like, that's what I want to do? Like, I want to play professionally? 100%.
100%. And I saw the things they were doing. I tried them. And that's this. Even Spain has that model in their federation. Spain, their youth teams, they make them watch the senior team and tell them, look how he just finished the cross, go try it. Where sometimes in other environments, they tell them, no, there's a specific curriculum for specific age group.
Right.
Let's be careful with that.
Yeah.
Let's be careful. Because if there is specific, that means they're going to be all static. So that means players cannot reach early development or success. So you're doing it by age. But if you tell a 10-year-old, try to do something Messi is doing now, that 10-year-old could become actually as good as Messi at 16 because he's trying it early. So that's where people have to be careful.
Right.
Yeah, you want to have a curriculum, but the game model should always be after the best in the world.
Right.
Let's be like those guys or better. That should be your role model. So as a kid, that's something that's I watched, I want to try, and then I come up and then master things. But it was a huge passion.
At what age did you get into your? In Morocco they had. Or at what age did you join your first club team or academy team?
I had a club team at the age of really 8 or 9. I was in a club team. So and then I went to the academy at the age of 12.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was in the academy from 12 to 16, and then went to Europe, and then came back, and then came here. Yeah.
And then, were there any professional offers? Were there any?
At the young age, no professional. Just played in the academy. Yeah.
Okay.
Just, yeah.
But after
academy. I just, like I said, I came played here. Played for went to third division to France, then came back to Morocco, then came here. And then played for the outdoor team of soccer, and then another semi-pro team, Flash. He used to be Flash and Top Guns in San Diego. And then I did my ACL, so I got hurt very early in age, and my ACL was really bad. So, and that just changed my path, and I went to coaching early.
So I also tore my ACL.
Now I have two. I did one as a player and one as an adult. So and I still actually both of them. One of them I have. Both of them actually are doing well. One on the right side, it's bothering me now, but the surgery on the left was better.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but I play no problem now. So
okay.
Yeah,
well, when how old were you when you tore your ACL?
I was I think 21.
21.
Yeah, 21.
Okay, so then I assume the surgery for an ACL wasn't nowhere as good as it is in here.
No, not even close.
Like back then, it was like career ending.
Oh, it was career ending.
Yeah,
it was a really
so when you did that, what was the feeling of like tearing? Because now it's like for me when I tore my ACL, like I knew that was like it was painful. Like it hurt knowing that I've done like that kind of injury, but I was okay with the idea of like, okay, I can come back and recover. Back then, when you think, okay, this is a career-ending injury, what was your mindset when you found out?
Again, the culture, obviously, the science changed, everything moving at a fast pace. Everything is different, almost. When I came to America, you were treated as a new player in a way that you can't get away with treating people that way today. Give an example, when I came into America, I went to the indoor professional team soccer tryouts, and they spoke different language, some Europeans, and they said, put Platini on the wall. So listen to this, how things are different. Put him on the wall. A guy that had the strongest shot in America, I won't say the name, I will not disclose that here. Purposely, they told him to hit me in the head. I passed out. Why? They sent me, just because they wanted to punish me for trying out.
That's crazy.
See how things were different? Yeah. I was in the locker room. They're trying to bring me back. Out. And they put a perfume, and I woke up, and the French guy that spoke French, because I speak French fluently, he says, ça va, tu vas bien? He said, yeah, you got hit. That guy, I won't say the name, and was one of the most powerful shooter in the history of America, of indoor. So tell you, then you go to a shower those days, and as soon as you put soap in your eyes, they slap you with the towels. So you were bullied. Yeah. Bullying was normal. hazing was normal.
Yeah.
Abuse was normal, wherever, but it was part of the culture.
Right.
So injuries, same thing. They just patch you up, and but there was no science. There was science, but it was only for the elite. But so the surgery went well, but it took like almost 13 months. Never came back the same. And so science, development, culture, everything has changed.
Yeah.
So now with ACL, I tell you, players now you have ACL, you come back better.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Seriously, sometimes you come back 1,000 times better. I had a player, Rachel Bueller, that I trained privately for many years. One of my favorite students. She did her ACL, did second ACL, came back, won 2 gold medals with the Olympics.
Wow.
So we're talking about different times.
Yeah.
A lot of players, in the men's, the Greg Dalby played for me at Surf. When I coached the U20 men's all-star team. The Klinsmann invited me. I took the men's U20 to Germany. And I coached them. I had 2 players there that did their ACLs before. They were unbelievable players. After their ACL, they were better players.
Right.
So I've seen it on both sides, and the men's and the women's now. ACL is just part of the game. Yeah, you lose part of your, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's
nowhere close to how it was before.
No. Like you said,
right.
I mean, I have a friend, Kevin Mabbitt, Gary Mabbitt, brother, both played for England. And Kevin Mabbitt did injury too, ended his career.
Yeah.
And this guy played for the England national team. So people lost their careers in the past, but no, those days are gone.
Because after your injury, you weren't feeling the same. You started focusing more on coaching. So you said at 21, 22?
Oh, I started doing, as I was playing for the Sockers, I was doing privates for players.
Okay.
That their parents, one of them I told you was the national team coach, and he was giving me books, and he said, you'll be a great coach. He said that.
Oh.
He said, I'll see how you talk to people. There's one thing about having a license. There's one thing about growing up as a footballer, but it's another thing about knowing the art of coaching. That's a different. You can't get through all your licenses.
Right.
You still could not be a successful coach because it's something you get from mentors and something you just develop by pushing yourself.
Before we get into the coaching, actually, I should have mentioned that you said off there that you were a winger. So you played winger your entire career?
I played winger most of my career.
Most of your career?
Yeah.
And, okay, so when you tore your ACL, was that in a game or in
It was
training?
in a game. It was.
How did that come about?
I remember a little bit. It was just like I was running on the wing, and it was in San Diego. And as I turned, the change of direction, a guy came and hit me on one side, and I left the other leg behind me. Turned it, and I remember, like you said, it was so much pain. I screamed so loud. I think people heard me in Mexico. So, it was scary. The second wasn't that bad, but that first one, it was brutal.
Now we get into, so you've been doing some privates, coaching, and then what was your first
official job as a coach?
Yeah.
As a coach was with the Del Mar Sharks.
Okay.
It's in Del Mar. And immediately after a couple of years, went to San Diego Surf. And I'd been with San Diego Surf. I was with Surf till 2009. Then I got recruited by the Mexican Federation. And then I went with Mexico.
And then you're coaching the girls?
The boys.
Boys?
I was coaching boys and girls, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, Surf, I did boys and girls.
Okay.
And then on 2000, when I went with the Women's World Cup with Mexico, then I came back. Then I went with UCLA as an assistant with Jill Ellis that won the World Cup. 2015, 2019, the coach, I worked with her. She was my assistant on the state team. I was one of her assistants on the UCLA team. And she's the one that won the World Cup 2015 and 2019.
Oh, wow. So how was it working for the Mexican national team? Like how was...
Oh my God. It was interesting. We had respect. We were respected as coaches. The female players went through a lot at that time because it was early for them. The women's game was not as popular yet. So it was tough. It was hard. But I give them credit. They worked so hard to build it. Look where they're at now.
Right.
And then I remember I we hung out one time with Jorge Campos and with some legends. I was treated well by Mexico. It was a great opportunity. And we stayed at the Federation, and then we went obviously around to other places. We came to America, we played the US friendly, and we did some stuff here. But it was a good journey. It was a good, and the World Cup was rough.
Yeah.
We got killed by Brazil our first game, and then we played Germany. And after that, got hired by Steve Sampson with Carl South, and then UCLA 2001, then the women's national team, the US 2002, I think. Costa Rica 2003, the men's, went with the men's. So it's been always men's and women's.
Yeah, okay.
So, and then it was a big journey of the women's because it just was, I was asked to do so many things with the Federation and help in those areas. And with the club I worked with West Coast FC.
All right.
But then got called back again to the men's beach national team. I got brought up there to help. So it's been really both sides, and it's been a great journey. And there is a lot to learn.
Yeah.
There's a lot to learn.
How was it like? Because it seems like you've gone through all levels really.
Been on all sidelines.
Yeah. So how is the college game in your opinion? Like coaching at UCLA?
The college game. Listen, we're the only country that started that.
Right.
And to this day, I think other countries now are starting to have that model because they figure out education is a must.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, your career is going to end as a player. That's a fact.
Yeah.
And as a coach, even as a coach these days is changing. Without education, it's very hard to become a high-level coach.
Right.
So, but I still think the college piece is important because it's only 1 in a million that's going to make it big, or 1 in 1,000, whatever it goes professional. So the percentage, I'm a big fan of the college sports. Our country does a good job creating opportunities for kids and, gets you off the street, and it gives you a future.
Right.
And even the players that play professional, my biggest recommendation to every professional player, invest in your education while you're playing. Online, in person. Yeah, if you're making good money in the pros, great. It's easier for you to get good education.
Right.
If it's not, do it online, whatever. But my recommendation, take care of your education, because that's what you're gonna fall back on. Even with your coaching licensing or experience, even in in the coaching world, how many coaches are gonna make it to the top? Very few.
Right.
So don't gamble with life. Just don't gamble. So I have regrets, but thank God I get some education, and I got lucky. I was before this generation. It's getting harder and harder.
Yeah.
So, but technology actually, it's helped a lot. For player development, technology is great. For coaches development, it's a great tool. For associations, for clubs, for the federations, for globally, all this technology is good.
Yeah.
So it does have benefits, and it has some bad things. If you're on the phone all the time,
Right.
as a player, you're not taking care of your body. So.
Right. How was your experience at UCLA? How did you?
I loved it. I was there for a season, I think a season and a half. But then because of the rules where I lived and the drive, all that becomes a little bit hectic. So I just then went straight all to club. Okay. But I loved it. It was a great experience. So I had a good club, surf, early age, very young. I had mentors that coached national teams. Had the World Cup coach, Steve Sampson, all this. Had UCLA, had Curver International, went to Japan at a young age, did international curver camps. Worked for FIFA Grassroots events at the World Cup 98. That opened up to meet so many legends and learn from so many great minds.
Yeah.
So then go to Costa Rica, then the ODP, regional and national events. So football is the best, what do you call it? Human growth or development, you want to call it whatever. Football is priceless.
Who do you think? Who would you say has been the most influential mentor or Just someone you met.
The first one is not a human, it's God.
Yeah, of course.
John Wooden, I remember John Wooden. I was with UCLA. We're going to the Final Four, and we had the team have to meet with John Wooden. You know John Wooden with UCLA, the guy that won 16 national championships. You have to read his books.
Yeah. Okay.
The Pyramid of Success. He's the one that built the Pyramid of Success for most of the coaches in America.
It's called the Pyramid of Success.
Yeah, it's called the Pyramid of Success. It's a book, and he gives each one of us, the coaches, one signed by him. It's incredible to have. John Wooden, as I was walking at the end, I stopped after all the players. So first of all, he spoke for 20 minutes. One of the players stopped him and said, "You said something, Sir Wooden." He repeated it like he was reading out of a book. That's how intelligent this man is. You have to read his books. And I was at the end, I said, "Sir Wooden, may I ask you a favor, please?" He said, "Yeah." "What is your favorite book?" You will not believe. His answer was amazing. Amazing. He said, "My favorite book is God's books." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, for some people it's the Bible, some people it's the Torah, some people it's the Quran." He said, "Those are the best books." So when I think my first mentor is God,
Right.
then my parents, then every person I came across is a mentor. You're a mentor. You said things that I would learn from. But there were great men, there were mentors that were a game changer in my life. Terry Liskevich, he runs now a website called The Art of Coaching Volleyball. And he helped a lot of soccer clubs and associations. Steve Sampson, Amy Jacquet from France, Gerard Hourier, listening to him. Worked with Jill Ellis, was a good mentor. Carla Thompson, so many coaches through US Soccer. I had a lot of great, Billy McNichol. There's a lot of good names, and the list is too long, too long, to be honest. I would not give a credit to one person. I would give the credit to God by himself, but I will give credit to everybody that I came across. Some mentors even through West Coast Club I was with, some great mentors. So again, this is how I'm wired.
For someone who's very new to the coaching game, what is a piece of advice that you can give me throughout from your entire experience? What is something you can give me as a coach?
I always was hoping someone would ask that question. And I was going to do someday a video about it maybe, but never got to it.
This is the video.
I'll tell every coach at a young age, one, have a plan. Short term, mid-term, long-term. That plan, make sure has growth as a person, take care of your family, don't compromise your family, because many of us sacrificed a lot of time, and we didn't balance it, and we learned later on. Balance life correctly with your family, your faith, your family, your priorities. Then your job comes. Within your job, make sure that you manage well your finances. This is the one I wanted to do a video about. It will catch up with you. Make sure you have someone that mentors you how to manage your finances. That way you work your youth for your retirement. Don't get to an older age and you're like, I got nothing. Because I just focused on my passion.
Right.
That's something you gotta be careful with. Licensing. Make sure you get through your licensing with US Soccer and get to the highest license and keep renewing it. Make sure you're better coach every day because the game changes, and for you to really serve the player justly and be just to them and fair to them, you have to be updating your knowledge.
Right.
You can't make a player better if you don't make yourself better. Don't use yourself as a player and tell the players, I want you to do what I did as a player. No, you're a coach. Separate yourself from a player and a coach. Once you put the hat I have on as a coach, I'm not a player anymore. I will never talk to my players about what I did as a player. I talk to them about what the modern game demands. And do not get caught up on the badges and the levels, all this. Focus on your player needs and make them better. So again, I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea what I'm trying to say here. Have a plan. Make sure that plan has all the parts, okay? Just like a bus has seats. Fill every seat. All right? It's very important. Have boxes. Check this box is empty. What do I fill it with? This box has garbage. Throw it out, fill it up with. So all those things, you have to look at the boxes. There's different boxes in our head, and there's always this little devil. There's a box that has a devil. Always wants you to do the wrong thing. And that one you have to fight all the time. So, and work with the right people that want to develop as a team, not as an individual, as a team. If anybody that you work with in this I, you don't want to do that. Don't use I in your language. We need to do this. We need to go this direction. But for you as an individual coach, like I mentioned, make sure you work now for later. Don't just enjoy as you go. I'll go with the flow. It'll catch up with you here.
That's perfect, actually. But so now, what advice would you give to a young player aspiring to be a professional soccer player?
Find the right coach. Watch the game all the time. The pros. Watch the pros for the young players.
How does a young player know that he has the right coach in front of him?
Very good. With technology, it's easy to find who the right coach is. Very easy these days. It was hard before. Parents have to do their homework. If parents go for the badge, or they go for the name of the club, or they go for the league they play in, they're in a way doing it upside down. What they need to look for, who's gonna develop my kid to be a soccer player?
Right.
That's it. And be an extension to our family values. He's not gonna destroy my kid and my kid comes home and is becoming a monster. No, make him a better player at the field, but you're an extension to their family values. So those are important. So for a parent, do your homework. It's all out there. Who are the coaches that can develop your kid? It's not that hard, really, these days. So, and for the coaches, it's very important that they do not get caught up with the leagues, all those things too. Just worry about the player, what their needs are, and make sure you fulfill them. A good player is going to be picked. Right. It doesn't matter where they're at. Coaches, you guys been to college. College coaches are going to other countries. They're asking me now to get them players from Morocco or from the Middle East. They just want a good player. They don't care. That player doesn't play in such league. I don't have to say the names. There is names everywhere.
Right.
So people throw in names. No. The coaches want a great player. That's it. And the great player does not become a great player if he's not in the right environment, and he's not with the right coach, and he's not developed, and he doesn't get freedom. He's always screamed at, or he's challenged with the loud voice. No. There's art into coaching. Either you're a good coach or you're a screamer, or you're a good coach and a screamer, but positively, constructively. Not good coach screaming, scaring the heck out of the players and discouraged. So it's an art.
The perfect coach for a certain player isn't, like, I can't be the perfect coach for all players. Like, there's certain players that click with me better than another player would.
Yes and no.
Okay.
There is a coach that can coach everybody because develop knowledge with experience, wisdom from different parts of the world, and just basically educating herself or himself, can be male or a female. There is great coaches. I had mentors, Tracy Leon, incredible female coach. Incredible. There are great female coaches out there. Carla Thompson, there Jill Ellis. There are so many great female coaches. Morgan Church, coaches are women's national team now for beach, but was on the outdoor national team staff, all that. She's with us. There is so many good coaches, but these coaches have one thing in common. They can coach different levels because they developed knowledge, experience, and you can't buy that. You can't skip it. You have to go through it. That's why I said the investment in your future as a coach, try to get your education early.
Does a good coach have to have long years of playing themselves?
I'm a big believer, with all the respect to coaches out there that didn't play soccer and they think they can coach at a high level. I don't believe that.
They have to have at least
You
play
have to have been a player. How can you relate to a player when you never played the sport?
Right.
That's, for me, I'm sorry. It's just, it's like me saying, go do a surgery. I can't be a doctor. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
So it's, you know.
But what about the level of player the coach was? Does that matter?
No, yes. Well, look, at the rec level, for fun, I'm talking now for just fun. A coach doesn't have to have a background of playing at a high level. Can be just played sports. But you have to have some kind of sports to coach at a low level. Right. But to coach at a high level, you're better at being a player. You can't. I can't coach a professional player if I've never been in that environment. Do you understand? So, and the education. So that one, it's always been a struggle debate. In conversations. There's always this debate. You know, but if you never played the game, to coach at a high level, I just don't see it. I'm sorry. So
do you think that like the level you played in would probably be the highest level you could coach? No, it's you can. In terms of like that, like, do you think someone who never played higher than college soccer can coach college soccer?
Can coach professional. You played the game competitively. Right. Okay. Yeah, you can play. There are coaches around the world. Right. Played on a low level, amateur, whatever, become legends. And then you had players, with all the respect, I don't have to say the names. I'm talking legends. That played the game, won World Cup, everything, and they were not good at all. I don't need to say the names. We're professionals here. We respect names. But then I will bring up the one that rewarding. Then you have coaches like Zidane. Great coach. He didn't cheat the system. Do you know what he did? When he was offered to be a coach, he asked to coach U12s. Then I think U16, whatever. Then U18, and then the B team. And then he went to get a licensing. And then went to the football management license. All these things. He did it the right way, helped them to win 3 Champions League in a row. The only coach in the world. So that's the difference. And then you have someone that didn't play at his level, won Champions League too. So you don't have to be, but to coach at that level, you played soccer competitively. Right. It could be even high school or whatever, but you played competitively. Okay, yeah. So, and then you went through your experience and you know all that and you grew with it. Yeah, no. Yeah, no one will stop you from becoming a great coach if you want to and you played the game and you understand it. Right. So, but if you never played the sport at all and you want to be a Galaxy coach, that's not going to happen. Yeah. Or you want to be OCSC or Zeta or it's not going to happen. Our Zeta coach is somebody that played the game. So that's just the way it is.
So what is your advice for players who older and have yet to step foot in the pro game, but want to? So they're
give me an example.
Out of college, played 4 years in college.
Didn't sign pro at a youth level.
Haven't signed professionally, but played 4 years in college, still want it. They're 20, in their 20s.
Look, soccer is so big. Football, you want to call it. We're in America, so soccer. Between 20 and 26, you have an opportunity. There are teams out there. Right. Yeah, it's how good you are and how hard you work. So it's even if you're born with some kind of a gift. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a believer of that. Yeah, there is something with your physiology, whatever you're born with it. But all the good players, they work hard. Now, before, they were not asked to defend. If you were a forward, you didn't have to defend. But now it's a different game. So no, you can play. You can play. There is enough teams to play, and there is so many. Now you have 3 divisions, and you have other divisions under that. So there is a pro opportunity for good players, even all the way to 30. I believe.
Yeah, so you're not a believer of if you haven't signed by this age, you should just quit already.
No.
Because that's just
a talk.
right. Like, but that's like you see all these. They're getting younger and younger. The players that are signing.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, but again, those younger players, they're going for the galaxy, whatever. So but like I said, or the LAFC, whatever. But there is a level. We have professional opportunities. You could go to Nisa, or you go to, another league and work your way up. But at the end of the day, it's all about the performance.
Right.
You see a player that's 26-year-old that performs better than an 18-year-old. But you see a lot of 16-year-olds that perform better than everybody around the world. But those are players that go, to big name clubs with big contracts.
Right.
So, but I still believe you can play. If you want to play, you can play. But doesn't mean it's going to be in the area where you're at. You got to get out of your comfort zone.
Right.
Like they say, comfortable most of the time these days is not good for you. You got to be uncomfortable. Yeah. So to grow. Speaking
of which, what has been one of your favorite countries to travel to, and have had the best experiences?
Wow. Well, obviously, I love my home here in Morocco. I enjoyed both of them, but I love Spain. I love Mexico.
Do you speak Spanish?
Poquito necesita práctica más.
Okay.
My mother speaks it fluently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but we were more taught to speak French because we were in a French region and schools, but I do understand most of it and speak some of it. Middle East is becoming big place. I enjoy going there. Qatar, I went to the World Cup.
How
Europe,
was that?
For me, Europe is amazing.
How was the World Cup?
Magic.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, Morocco story.
Of course.
So it was magic.
Yeah.
It was magic. I mean, it was incredible. I don't think we'll see another World Cup like that. They're all special in their own way. I think this one is going to be special too. Mexico and Canada.
Yeah.
It's going to be special, but the travel is going to be interesting to see how that works, to follow your team. Yeah. But my God, in Qatar, you go to 3 games in one day, half hour to go.
Oh, yeah? Did you? So you?
Yeah, you go to 2 games easily. Well, I don't know if you know, like David Beckham, he almost went to every game of the whole World Cup.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's 40-minute drive, but maybe with him, they took him a helicopter. It was incredible. Yeah. It was like, it was clearly 40 minutes from one game to another, and they're all stadiums. Awesome. But it was incredible.
Yeah.
The security, the fun, all this. Oh.
How long were you there for?
I was there for, was it 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks. I went all the way obviously, to the semis with Morocco, and then I came back after that.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the ticket price.
I'll share with you someday the videos in the street and the metro station. Oh, yeah? I mean, it was incredible. You know how here we struggle? Sometimes you get upset, your phone is dying, and you don't have a charger. But there in the metro, high tech, the seat is like the first class, and they had all chargers.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was like the technology, the security. So you had free transportation, free everywhere. In the World Cup. And they had places, if your team made it through, all right, and you had to change your ticket to stay longer, you get meals for free at places. You go eat for free.
Oh, wow.
Because now it affected your budget. So they say, we'll help you with that.
Oh, wow. So you got that benefit?
Oh, it was incredible.
Yeah.
It was incredible. So I didn't really. I was staying there for the duration that I know they were gonna make it.
Right.
People didn't, but I know they were on. The Moroccan Federation is doing phenomenal. And that's the investment we're talking about. Countries that are investing now in the right way in their soccer, especially like I said, the street soccer fields. Now, what the U.S. Soccer Foundation is doing, Morocco started doing it about 6 years ago, I think. Every street now has the fenced street soccer for free.
That's awesome.
And it's like 5v5, you can play all the time.
That's like our dream setup, just to have that.
Yeah, that's something we need to work toward.
Yeah.
And I hope the business people and the corporations, if they just need to invest in this sport, it's great for the kids.
Yeah.
It's great for people. Just it connects. Soccer is the best way to connect the world.
But you're involved with what's more the coaching side, right? Of
Yeah,
like the licensing and stuff like that. But what have you seen, what have you seen has improved a lot more in the years you've been here in the U.S. in terms of soccer?
Well, at the moment, leadership at U.S. soccer is one of the best I've seen. And I've seen it for the last over 3 decades, or 34 years. I've seen all leadership groups. I would say really now is one of the best because you have the leaders worked for FIFA, experts, they know the how, they're good with people, the people that themselves want to grow, but they're incredible leaders. And the content and the whole program at Coaching Education is amazing. This is the best time to go and get licensing.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have this 2 decades ago or 3 decades ago. This is as good as it gets. So yeah, no, I recommend highly to get through your licensing. When it gets to the CBNA, you have to wait a year or a couple or whatever. But within, I would say, think about it this way. Within 5 to 8 years, my God, if you're really passionate and committed, you can get all your licenses within that 5 to 8 years. So why not? My God, time flies. Come on. I want to be in your seat. I want to go back and do it earlier. But
I need to start on that process, actually.
I recommend it to all our players on our pro team. I recommend it because another thing too, if you coach, you become a better player.
Yeah.
If you ref, you become a better player.
Oh, I don't know about reffing.
No, come on.
I refed one game and I couldn't
But
do
without referees, we wouldn't have a peaceful game.
Yeah.
Listen, I agree or disagree with their calls, but I agree disagree with my own brothers and father and mother. So come on, people gotta get over it. Gotta be professionals. Without the referees, we wouldn't have a safe game. So
no, I agree, and I mean, like I said, I refed one game, and
the parents got you're like,
but it's like you can't please anybody. Both sides were
no, it's sad.
Yeah,
it's sad, but don't let my recommendation. Don't let other people affect what you want to do.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it sits with you. You can make all of the excuses you want to make. It sits with you.
Yeah.
Everything that went wrong in my life, I owe it. I own it. I own it because I either let it happen or I did it, but I will not blame anything on anybody.
Right.
Period. So I would say, just do the licensing. It makes you a better player and a better coach and a better person and a better leader and a part of the team of the world football. So, and the refereeing, do the refereeing, it helps the game. Anything that helps the game. Street soccer, please don't stop.
Yeah.
Futsal, please get it going.
Yeah.
Beach soccer, get it going.
Before we wrap it up, I want a quick, what are your thoughts on the ref shortage?
It's a problem.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why. I mean, my son and now my daughter, my son did his license. I went did it with him. I did my referee license 34 years ago. And I went did it like 3 months ago because he wants to do it. I want to go out with him. I want to support. The Referees Association needs us coaches. No egos. My God, it's not because you coach a certain level. No, look, we have a refereeing shortage. Let's all work together.
Yeah.
Because it makes it better. It makes the game better. And who does it benefit? All of us.
Yeah.
So now we need, and if we can do in-house, I can bring, the association. I can host. We can do one here at Zeta. We can do a referees class. We don't have to go anywhere.
No.
We just get our whole group here and we do it. And let's just support it, and it benefits everybody.
Yeah. So. Oh, that would be cool. There's a referee that used to ref me when I was a kid, and I know him now, and he still refs. I want to get him on the podcast to kind of get get his story as a ref, because that's an interesting perspective to someone who's been in the game for so long refereeing, just to see his experience and stuff. Because I mean, I've had my fair share of like bad refs, and I do feel like after having refed one game, I do feel like, okay, I need to like be way more patient with them, because this is a difficult job, because you can't please anybody.
No.
There's no pleasing anyone.
It's impossible. First of all, anytime you deal with more than you, with a group, you always have to expect somebody is not gonna like your ideology,
right?
Or how you look at things, or your decision making, whatever. But that's part of leadership. A referee is a leader. Part of leadership is that you can't make everybody happy.
Right.
And part of leadership is like they say when you're a professional coach, never empty your full bag when you take the job. Empty half, because sooner or later you let go. So there are so many things you learn, but part of leadership is once you decide to become a leader, is the day you have to understand you can't make everybody happy.
Right.
Because to be a leader, you gotta make some tough decisions.
Right.
And you gotta and you have to be comfortable with that.
Right.
You have to sleep. Yeah, it bothers you, but you still gotta go. That's who I am.
Right.
I accepted that. So.
Right. Okay, Platini, this was a really good conversation. I really enjoyed it. I feel like we could probably, like you said, stay here.
I told you.
Deep on your yeah, it was.
I told you. I was lucky. I met so many people. I learned a lot from people. So, but thank you. No, really, thank you. This is great. I think the more we can, bring people together, the better. And let's be the game changers for our community. The game is moving fast, and we just need to really work together to take care of the kids and the game. All right. So,
is there anything you would like to, anything else you would like to share with the audience, or any promotion you would like to plug or something like that?
Oh, no. What I would like to say to everyone, listen. Football unites the world. Love the game, respect everyone, work hard, be positive, take a disability and turn it to an ability. Take the impossible and make it possible. All right? Don't blame anything on anybody. Do your homework, find the right people to be around. All right? And make sure to be always thankful for everything. Because there is a lot of places and other people that don't have what we have. And that's what I leave you with. Go Zeta. God bless you all.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and then check out Zeta's Instagram so you can get more information on Platini and the teams he'll be coaching.